That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one
can't,
quick question?
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
People are on Lexie Brown's head. I've been seeing people talk about this clip all day. Obviously, yes, it's a clip, so watch the full podcast before you form an opinion. However, I'm going to go off this clip because everybody's talking about it, and I might watch the full thing afterwards. And if I have a different opinion after watching the full thing, I'll come back to the channel and bring it up. Right now, I'm just going to watch the clip.
League and as veterans, I think we have made this a more welcoming environment for this rookie class. Not saying that last year it was like overly hostile by any means, but I feel like one, because I haven't seen it because I haven't been online. The energy feels different this year. Like, as far as these.
How the energy feel different and you ain't been online to know what the energy has been on virtual online? Let me say, I got to put this disclaimer out. I rock with Lexie because she's home team. She's Gwinnett County. She Northside, everything like that. I rock with Lexie. Been rocking with Lexie for years since like dang Maryland days and stuff like that. So I rock with Lexie Brown. Shout out to D Brown, basketball legend, everything like that for sure. But yeah, like that's crazy. and I ain't gonna lie. Another reason why I like Lexie is because she's always been opinionated. And I don't know, like a lot of the opinions I disagree with. So like, but it brings like, I feel like a healthy kind of back and forth or healthy, like non-popular opinion set that will make you know what I'm saying? And those debates, those discussions, convo starters really take the league to the next level. And she was doing this for a little minute. So, okay, I got to also say this. I think a part of Lexie talking about like the growth of the game and everything like that, because she was really like, she was one of them people that was like against the whole Angel and Caitlin are changing it and changing everything. And she's like, no, we've been had motion. We've been had stuff going up. All right, here's the background with Lexie. Lexie was Instagram famous in college. I'm not sure about high school, but in college, she was famous. And before you say, oh, that's weird, you talking about in high school, this and that, we the same age. But in college, she was Instagram famous because, you know, how you say, I guess people just like looking at her, you know what I'm saying? Attractive young woman. So she was popular on Instagram in college. Transfers to Duke. When she transferred to Duke, she got playing time, everything like that. She became the best player on Duke. And that's when she was getting posted on the basketball beauty pages and started getting more and more followers. She had motion going into the league. She didn't play Connecticut her first couple of years. Then she went to Minnesota. And in the bubble, she really had a breakout year that year and stuff like that. Really stuck with LA, and now she's in Seattle. So she had motion like back in 2017, 2016. So for her, when people were talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark having motion and no players having motion like that for real, I can understand why she would feel away because a lot of people were like in her comments. She was doing the whole YouTube thing going into her rookie season, and she was vlogging and having opinions and podcasting before podcasting was really where it is now everywhere. Like she's been doing this her entire career. So it's like I understand from her and then like I said, in those comment sections, a lot of them be like, you the reason why I watch the WNBA because you so fine, this and that, you know, hard eyes and stuff like that. And you the first player I watch, this and that. You the first player I follow on in social media, this and that. This is why I get into the WNBA because of you. So for her to see that from 2016, 2017, and for these girls to come along, class of 2020 and 2022, 2023, 2024, and everybody says, oh, they the ones, these the first time I seen girls with some motion like this. I understand why Lexie will feel away because she's like, I had motion like that in 2016, 2017, but it was a bit different, Lex. It was a bit different, Lex, back then. So I definitely have to say that. Also, back to this point of disagreeing, even though I rock with Lex, everything like that, and interviewed her a couple times, stuff like that. Rock with Lex. don't want this to come off as a diss. But how you gonna say the energy different, but I ain't on online? How you even gonna know what the energy is if you're not online? That don't even make sense. All right, well, but regardless,
these rookies coming in and how the season's starting, like it's overwhelmingly more positive, but also still very competitive. Last year, it was like complete hostility going into the season. Like it was insane. I never felt.
but you were one of those people being hostile. That I will agree with. I know a lot of people are criticizing this clip and stuff like that. She was one of the people being hostile. Like it wasn't hostile in the way of like Alyssa Thomas or Kennedy Carter, like checking the folks or anything like that, or ripping them down to the floor or to the court. Like it wasn't that hostile, but you were one of the people talking about, man, the W's a rude awakening. They got a rude awakening for them coming in the W. And they did. I ain't gonna lie. Like both Angel and Caitlyn had to adjust, get pop in the mouth, and had to adjust to the game. And they figured it out, I think, sooner than a lot of other people expected, including myself. But you were like, man, we been had motion. We been had this, and everybody talking about they put people in seats. We've been putting people in seats. Like our numbers been growing over the past couple of years, which they have, but you also have to give Caitlyn and Angel their credit. I know a lot of Caitlyn fans, they don't like when I give Angel her credit, but Angel puts butts in seats too. And I know people look at the LSU preseason game and it's like, oh, the upper bowl was empty. Well, the lower bowl was full. And it was a lot more full than a lot of other preseason games around the WNBA. So it's like, it just is what it is, bro. I don't even know where I got sidetracked on that, but maybe I'll find it after playing this.
That before going into a season. And like the competitiveness, like it wasn't like there was no competition type energy in that. It was just hostile and mean and nasty. This year, I feel like it's very high level, high energy, competitive, respectful. That's just how I feel personally. I don't know if anybody else.
If you say anything with this draft class, I think this draft class, the last kind of bunch of 2020, class of 2020, it's really just, I don't think Paige had an antagonist, you know what I'm saying, in college. Like Paige's antagonist her freshman year was Caitlin Clark. It was like Caitlin Clark was the underdogs, the ones that it's gonna sound crazy, a lot of black people was rooting for Caitlin Clark back then as like the underdog and the antithesis. Man, I don't even know if I use that word right. Don't be using words. But the antagonist, the opposition, right? The rival to Paige Beckers. It was like Paige Beckers was the white girl from UConn getting all the attention, and people were really complaining at the time about why is UConn getting so much attention? Why are the white players in basketball getting so much more attention than the black players? Forget just white players versus black players. Let's look at UConn versus the rest of the country getting attention. Why isn't this girl at Iowa, who's leading the league, who's leading the country and leading all freshmen in scoring and assists, why isn't she getting more attention than Paige Beckers? And that's just what it was her freshman year. But then after Paige got hurt and she came back, Paige didn't have a rival at that point. Caitlyn kind of was like moving on, and her rival became obviously Angel Reese and stuff like that. And it became a little more established after, ironically, Angel Reese leaves the Big Ten. They become more of established rivals in two different leagues. But that's why I think the hostility was there, because there was so much attention, bro, on just the rivalry, and there was so much division there. Paige, by the time Paige came back, Paige already did the SB speech where she said black women, black women, black women. People saw, if they didn't know who Paige Beckers was at Hopkins, they saw her family a lot more, who was they're obviously mixed and things of that sort. So it's like the narrative really changed for Paige on being like, I hate this white girl's getting this much attention, to this white girl's all right. You know the meme with the white boy, you all right. Hold on. Let me see. White boy, all right. You know what I'm saying? like Paige became this meme, right? So she went from like, oh, this white girl gets so much attention over these black girls putting in the same work. And then by the time she came back from her injury, it became this because she did the SB speech. People saw her family, which was mixed, black stepmom, things of that sort, everything like that. So it was really like a lot of people that had a problem with Caitlyn and everything like that kind of went away. And it's not even just necessarily Caitlyn the player. It's like Caitlyn, what comes with Caitlyn, the fan base and things of that sort. And but there wasn't really that existed this year because I have to keep it kind of respectful. But Haley Van Lith, she acknowledges her white privilege a lot and things of that sort. But like Haley just wasn't like Caitlyn. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So it was like there wasn't that player on Caitlyn's like level that that wasn't initially speaking on these things as they were happening on social media. Obviously, Caitlyn has since acknowledged it and stuff. I feel like she has when she went on Saturday Night Live for the first time, right? And she was talking about Cheryl Swoops and the great woman who laid the foundation, and she named all black players. And then she continued to do it. Like every time someone would specifically ask her about black players, she would give them that credit. And in a Time magazine feature, she like outright just said, yeah, I do benefit from white privilege and kind of like white facing and stuff like that. I seen a Caitlin Clark fan said, so what, whoop to do. She's literally just catering to her audience and the audience of trying to bring in more people for the WNBA marketability wise. It's like if there are just more white people that exist statistically, wouldn't you market more to white people? And I was like, yo, that is a very, very good point. That's a very good point. I do think, however, like other people have the right to their opinions as well. If the league and the sport is mostly black, like why not give attention to the black? Because, and here's the thing with attention, like I think people miss the point. Attention equals money. So it's like that was the fight, and that is the fight still to a certain extent of like the black players putting in the work, having the results on the court. They deserve just as much opportunity as the white players who perform, similar to them or don't even perform as good. You know what I'm saying? Like Sabrina Ionescu has a signature shoe. A large part of her popularity comes from outside of, being white, is like came from her friendship with Kobe Bryant in college and things of that sort, like in the triple double record and everything that she was setting at Oregon. So it's like those things like that. She's getting so much money. 2K cover, Nike signature shoe. She had the 2K cover, right? Hold on. I mean, before I just say stuff, we got the internet list. 2K cover. Yeah, 2K cover. All of these things, right? And the reason why people are like, man, the black players. The reason why they're so kind of hell bent on that is because attention and coverage equals more money. And yeah, so it was like, to break it down like this, I'm going on a long, long tangent. And if you're sitting through this, I appreciate you so much. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 5K subs. At the time I'm recording this, I'm 300 away, less than 300 away from 5,000. And I'm like, man, I don't even know how to feel about that. Let's get back to it. So yeah. With Sabrina Ionescu, right? More money. Okay. I was about to bring it back to me, right? So, for example, in my field and things of that sort, in media, I've always been the personality type of I could be behind the camera most of the time. Like when I learned that I could tell a story effectively still and not be on camera, like I didn't need a stand up in a package or a video story to make the story hit. When I learned that, I was like, oh, bad. I could put out some fire stuff. I don't have to worry about random people stopping me at games and having 5-minute conversations with me about ABC and their favorite players and all that. Like I could just vibe out, create the content, push it out to the world, and put dope stuff together. You know, I don't have to be faces of stuff. And then I started seeing a lot of my peers and a lot of people I came up with and a lot of people who are my age and have the same amount of experience. We at the same events, we in the same rooms. I started to see them getting hosting opportunities. I started to see them get on panels. I started to see them get conferences and all these things. And that stuff is cool. It's like, okay, I could play it back. I'm cool. But then when you find out them jokers getting paid for speaking engagements, you're like, okay, all right, twin. We got to go back to the drawing board because it's like, all right, I'm making, you know what I'm saying, however much you making, right? Say hypothetically. I'll throw a hypothetical number out there. And this isn't what I'm making, by the way. If you're wondering what I'm making, this is not an accurate number. But at one point I was making this. Say you're making 50,000 and you go to all the same events that your peers, you know, the people your age, graduated college the same year as you go to all the events they go to, you guys put out the same type of content. If anything, you might feel like your content is a little more creative than theirs in some ways. But the difference is you're getting 50,000 a year. Them jokers getting 300,000 a year. You gonna feel away. So that's what all it is with the black players, white players debate of like the attention and this and that. Like if you put it in the same work, we got the same qualifications, we in the same rooms, we play the same game, and you're getting 20 million and I'm only getting 2 million. Yeah, that's gonna be, yeah. We need to talk about that. Yeah, we do need more coverage. Yeah, we do need more opportunity. Yeah, we do need this. So that's where a lot of this stuff stems from, bro. If that analogy made sense. If that was just me yapping, I apologize. But at least you sat through it.
Feels anything differently, but I feel this season is different for these rookies, and I hope that they feel welcomed to the W. Like whether they're in a good situation, a not so good situation, whether they make the team, their waves. Like I hope that we've done a better job as older players. And
let me look at hold on. And it sounds weird hearing Lexie talk about she's an older player. That's crazy to me, but she's true. She's right. I graduated college like 8 years ago, bro. This weekend, 8 years ago. That's ridiculous. That's almost 10 years, bro. Getting up there. AARP. Lauren Betts, AZ for Olivia Miles, Tanai Latson, 6, 7, 8. The top 8 prospects of the 2026 WNBA draft are all black. So you're not going to have this. You're not going to have what you have with Caitlin for a very, very long time until another white player is the best player in the country again. That obviously was the case last year with Paige Beckers. But like I said, Paige kind of like, I don't know, disarmed the haters. It was kind of like a thing of like she slowly kind of was like, no need to be on me. She did the speech at the ESPYs. The more famous and more, you know, kind of attention she got, you start to see her family a little more. And you're like, oh, she got a black stepmama. She got black brothers and sisters or black brothers. And then, you know, she comes out, the clip of her singing Marvin Sapp goes viral and everything. Like, you're like, oh, Paige is pretty cool. And she continues to speak about black women in the sport, people who laid the foundation and get all the attention and how she benefits from white privilege. All of that stuff like kind of took the haters off of her and took the heat off of her. The next time that you can't say, my point that I'm trying to make is Lexie or anyone, they can't say that we've healed. They can't say the women's basketball space has healed. It's kind of like saying like racism is over. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, we won't know if it's truly over until the next time a white player is the number one player in the country again. When a white player is the number one player in the country again, that's when we'll find out. But it ain't next year. because the top 8 prospects are all black next year and stuff like that. So we'll see. Hold on. I want to look at Hoop Girls. Let's look at Hoop Girls. 2026 Hoop Girls. All right. Let me see. Sanaya Hall, Kate Harpering. Oh, Kate Harpering moved up to 2. She was a bit further back before then. Jersey, shout out to Jersey. So Jersey kind of slid, it looks like. Big O, Olivia Edwards. Dang, I really want to see the takeover weekend, like OTE girls and stuff like that. I hope I'll be in Atlanta then. Last year they did it in August, and I can't be in Atlanta in August because that's too close to football. Football starts in August. I got to be back in the boot. Yeah. But Kate Harpering, maybe Kate Harpering, cool. She cool. I ain't gonna lie. Kate Harpering, mad cool, and she from Atlanta. That's Matt Harpering daughter, bro. She mad cool, bro. So I don't know. This Olivia Vocasa, is she white? Let me see. Oh yeah. But she Croatian, so she not even American. All right. But yeah, I think it's gonna be. We won't see this again for another couple years. And the point that I'm making is, it doesn't mean that the problem is solved. People saying, "Oh yeah, the women's basketball space is in a better place. We solved. It's healthy." Yeah, and until white players the best player again, then we'll see what's going on. Was that KK Special K 2027? She's a baby. Yo, she been good her whole life like that. This might be the best, but like you gotta watch what she say, because I felt like we said that with the Leah Chavez, right? Leah Chavez was a sophomore. We was like, oh yeah, she's the best player in the country, and she's only a sophomore. And then by the time she got to senior year, she done slipped about, well, Leah Chavez slipped to about 5 or something like that, to 3, which isn't the most drastic fall, but yeah. It was interesting to see Jasmine Davidson jump up to 1. And I rock with her. I rock with all of them for sure. Everybody that was at OT, the twin. All right, bet. I'm getting off track. But yeah, that's just my response to Lexie saying. It's like Lexie's kind of saying like, we're headed in a positive direction. Like people are starting to act with sense again. Okay, let's see what happens when a white player is the best player in the country again, and then see if the conversation still looks the same.
Veterans to make this like an enjoyable experience for them. So
here we go. How lucky are this year's rookies? The vets are feeling extra welcome, and all of a sudden, and that's what they're pretty saying with CC tweets for now. A white player isn't the best player coming in. So yeah, there's that. Lexie admitted to yelling at Lee Uru for having poor English, and also talked ish about Rakia and Cam. Plus sat on an ex-NBA's players podcast and talked ish about CC and Angel. She's a part of the problem. A couple of people brought this up about her yelling at Lee. So I want to look it up because I personally don't remember that. I do remember her going on Gilbert Arenas' podcast and saying things about Angel and Juju. But yeah, let me see. Lexie Brown. I'm looking it up, y'all. Can Lexie Brown dunk in her insoles? I want to see that. They got me. People revealed that they were hostile. Shout out to Mixed Talk Hoops. He do not miss a topic, boy. I tell you, if it's something on YouTube, on Twitter, he gonna have a YouTube video about it. I don't even know what he be talking about for, because them video be like 16, 20 minutes. Everything. Look at this. This is all today. 8 minutes. 9 minutes. And Angel Reese in that, she did not struggle, bro. She only had 3 rebounds because she was playing point forward. 2 for 8 from the field. Now 2 for 8 from the field, you know what I'm saying? That's something. But she was distributing the ball. She looked good bringing the ball up, everything like that. Really getting the offense flowing. She's just trying different stuff. It's preseason. I don't think it was a bad performance. I do want to see this though. And then we'll get to the lead thing. Ah, that was funny. Fine, so that's fine. 4 years later, she better win that shootout than
Give me a year, y'all.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Lexie Brown. I guess I do not remember this. She finally gets her ring while shining for the Sparks. So does anybody have like a article or video about this? I don't remember that. Let me see. Lexie Brown. Oh, she got traded. And they both got traded together. I just want to see this video where she said this. Where did she say this? Did she say it? Because if people just making up stuff, like that's crazy, right? Oh man, I thought she was cool. This is disappointing. Let me just go ahead and unfollow that podcast real quick. Yeah, I saw that podcast. She's a negative, jealous Betsy. They cooking her. The fact that she felt comfortable saying she said about Lee during the live commentary is wild, let alone she's a real piece of work behind the scenes. Who even does that, right? She got dragged on here afterwards. I wish I could find a video like, yeah, English might not be Lee's strong suit, but she's still a better player than you. Communication issues and all. I need proof about her talking about Angel, Rakia, and Cam. If you don't have it, don't be making up lies. I also didn't see the thing of her talking about Rakia and Cam. But I do remember what she said about Angel and Caitlin. Lexie needs to be humble. Making fun of her having poor English as being her second language is not what you want to start. I also have to see this because like now, like, is this one of those things where you're like talking to a teammate? You know how like Rakai talks to Kai? I mean Rakai. How Kai talks to Ray. And it's like Ray would try to say something to Kai, and Kai like mocks his accent, and then Ray mocks Kai. But it's like a friend thing. Is it one of those things? Because like context matters and tone matters. Dang, this is crazy. Shout out to Geneva. I didn't know Geneva was on Twitter. But terrorist is crazy. That's the crazy word. She's worried about Lee's English, but Lee actually should be tutoring her when they cut her. Dang. Lexie has been the biggest hater. I used to like her, but now she talks. The more she talks, the less I like her. The craziest part is they were playing together again in Seattle. To be talking like this and she barely plays, and when she does play, she stinks because she got Crohn's disease. This is why she's not playing. She on the bench at home watching. No, she's not playing because she has Crohn's disease. Exactly. Now you got the Clarkies thinking their made-up agenda was real. Jealous young lady. Lexie is the worst. She's been a hater forever. Hating on the Rickies last year. Pocket watching college NIL deals from the start. It's really lame. People have peeped it. So now she's trying to switch up. I'm calling Cap. Lexie Brown is such a hater. She always trying to crap on young players. The way that she taught, you think she has multiple MVPs, all NBA and accolades. She's a horrible vet, just not even good enough to be on the roster, but is always hating on young players. She's so fake. I'm so happy that Sparks got rid of her. Bro, what a piece of blah, blah, blah. Where is this clip of her saying this, bro? Women get on here and lie. Only bad thing she did was promote that trash on Rory and Maul in Gil's arena. You like to lie and believe social media never happened. Stop making things up. She talks more than she plays. She did not talk about Cam and Rakia. Stop making stuff up. When did she talk stuff about Rakia or Cam or even Angel Reese? You're so disingenuous. It's hilarious. This framing is sad. Do better. Why she hide all the comments telling the truth? I do remember her saying stuff about Angel. She said it when they was in college on Gilbert Arenas podcast. I remember that because she was talking about both of them. She was like, "Oh yeah, they saying these rookies are gonna be, yeah, they're gonna have some, you know what I'm saying." But yeah, I don't. There's not one single thing. I felt like if this was a thing, then it would have been something. Usually when people do them little tweets where they like dog pile on someone, like you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. A lot of times it'll be like something exaggerated, bro. Like that didn't really happen. And I think this Lee Yuri Euro thing did not happen. I don't think it happened. Because I'm literally looking it up right now. Like it would have been somewhere. It would have been on the blog. It would have been on Twitter. Someone would have had the what you call? They would have had the video up when she said that, but nobody has the video up. Why? Because it doesn't exist. It does not exist. But yeah, this is an example. It says 2020. It's 2020. It's just a type of post that she would get. See, not that many interactions, but Twitter was different back then. Yeah. All right. Anyways, that's enough of that. I guess I'm looking for something that's not there. Someone said something about she was being mean to Rakia because of Twitter. Because she said I'm not on the internet, so things is different now. This is the tweet. So she felt she had to be hostile, mean, and nasty to Rakia last year because of Twitter. She really makes it difficult to extend her grace. I wish her to remain healthy, but outside of that, kicking her. She didn't say she was. She said she felt the energy around the league. You must be new here. What did she do or say to Rakia? Ain't nobody do nothing to Rakia. She holds her own. Y'all keep saying this without giving receipts or what even happened. Her projecting her own odd feelings onto the entire league is something. Lexie Brown, I don't. So this is a copy paste message. It's the same thing we just read in the other one. Let's go to the page. You have to like when you see these things. It's like I feel like media literacy type stuff. Of like, okay, let's see who's saying this. Oh my bad. False, we having false in shambles. Thank you, Bucky Getter. I like how you do this. They're miserable. We're not paying haters on mine. Good game. Good game, Big Mama. Hold on, I'm trying to see this thing. Trying to see what's going on. Yeah. She commented the same thing. She commented the same thing 4 times. She commented the same thing 4 times, bro. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. She commented the same thing 4 times. Just copied and pasted 4 times. I don't know. You just have to pay attention to stuff like that. Because people will hype it up, and then that becomes like the narrative. And now everybody's talking down on Lexie Brown for saying some stuff that she never said. You gotta be careful with that stuff, man. Sparks said Lexie Brown and Kia Jackson is funny. I'm trying to see. So I'm on here now, by the way. I don't see anything that's problems between those two. Yeah. Just do not see them. Cameron Brink, let me see. Cameron Brink. Nothing. Don't see anything still. So no other players came to mind in the last 7 years. There it is. What did Lexie Brown say about Cameron Brink? Lexie has always been a weirdo. That was two months ago. No one responded to her. So are these just things she's saying on her podcast? And if so, like, why aren't they being clipped up? All right, is that it? That's it. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next thing because I keep looking for stuff like that isn't on the internet, like it's not clipped up. It wasn't a big discussion. It was just something that someone said. Lexie Brown trying to create a podcast presence because she knows she doesn't have much longer in the league. Lexie Brown been doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like Lexie Brown was vlogging and YouTubing in 2017, bro. And she had a following online since like 2015, 2016 when she was in college.
That steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.